Hi people, here we are at the Toy Shop Cafe. You sit that side and I'll sit over here. Hi everyone, I hope you're well. I hope the weather's not getting you down too much, any of you. Keeping yourselves together. Well, let's put the candles on because it's pretty. Yes, I'm a bit of a romantic. There you go. Well, I've come on today to talk to you about what I've heard a couple of other people talk about, which is bonding with the babies. And it made me think about when I had my own babies, my real children. It wasn't a very good experience for me being pregnant because from start to finish I was very, very sick. I lost a lot of weight. In fact, I lost about 2 stone and I really wasn't happy during the pregnancies. I was quite depressed and whatever, as some people are. We can't all look rosy-cheeked and bushy-tailed when, you expect him. But anyway, I still carried on. I still worked at the beginning, right up to 7 months and blah, blah, blah. And I kept going and did everything, looked after the house and everything. But anyway, after I had my babies, I've had 4 children, biological children. And each time I found it quite difficult. With my son Richard, when he was born, it was a really quick labour. It was only like 4 hours from start to finish. I was really, really lucky. As I was with the other 2 girls, they were less than 4 hours. The last one was 10 hours from start to finish, which still isn't bad because I'd had like a 13.5 year break. But what I wanted to say was when I had my son and he was born and I looked at him and I could not in any way recognise that he was my child. My brain did not say, this is yours, you love him, and I did not feel this all over love for my own child. I didn't have that instant bonding. Now, because of that, I became very, very depressed. I mean, now I know that it was after birth depression. I've forgotten what it's called, but you know what I mean. And I suffered quite badly with it for 3 months. But my little boy, I did everything for my son, Richard. I did everything on autopilot. Everybody said he's spotless, you keep him so lovely, he's this, and this. Yeah, because I knew it was my duty to care for him, but it wasn't that I felt this bonding need to care for him. I just didn't have it. It got like that. I would walk up the high street and people would say, "Hi, Kim," and I'd go, "Hi," and start crying all over the place. So eventually I decided to go and see my doctor, and I went to see my doctor and he said to me, "Kim, you just need 2 or 3 nights of real sleep," because my son Richard, and I believe now that it was because he could sense what I was feeling, wouldn't sleep. He didn't sleep hardly at all, not day or night. Wherever I went, he had to be. If I wasn't in sight, he screamed. It really was quite bad. But anyway. And I went home, and at that time I was living with my mum and my husband and my dad. And I said to my mum about it, and she said, "Fine, move the crib into my room and I'll have him for a couple of nights." Anyway, now this was when he was about 3 months old, and I was a bit, should I let my mum look after him? Because I knew it was my duty. But my mind and body just needed that rest. They just needed that time out. Otherwise, I think I was going to have a nervous breakdown. So I let myself rest. And after about the 3rd night, I went into my mum, and it was like a switch had just been flipped. And I went to my mum, I said, "Mum, can I have my baby back, please?" And she went, "Of course." And we moved all the stuff back in. And when that switch, it was just, I cannot explain, but it was like an explosion of emotion, love, needing to hold him, to kiss him, and just say, I'm sorry that I haven't been there for you this last 3 months. Mummy loves you now. Mummy loved you from the beginning, but Mummy didn't know. And it took 3 months with my son, and now I absolutely idolise him. My girls say he's my favourite. He's not. He's just my firstborn, which makes him a little bit special. And my girls each in turn are special too. But then when I had the next one, which was my Charlotte, the instant she was born, I looked down and I loved her. And it was this feeling I've never ever felt before in my life. It was an all-compressing warmth throughout my body of love, of care, and how beautiful and everything. But then sadly, when I had the next one, Kirsty, it was the same. I did not have it. I had depression. I didn't have an instant bond. And it was very hard. And because I had the other two to care for before, because it was like, what was it, 5 years difference between like the first two down to the next one, which was Kirsty. And I had them to look after her, so I just got on with it. My mind was just away with the fairies most of the time, lots of crying, lots of depression, lots of feeling incapable, even though I wanted this child so much, my Kirsty. And it was the same again. 3 months, click. An instant bond at that time. 3 months, not an instant bond, I suppose. It was building up to it, wasn't it? And so I was again the same with my last daughter, Recia, my youngest, who's 19. It was exactly the same with her. I was in hospital for longer than the other people because I suffered badly with depression afterwards, and I just wasn't ready to face the world. I just wasn't ready. And again, 3 months, and pow, she was everything to me. I adored her. Well, what I'm trying to put across is that if you have a doll, a reborn, whatever, teddy, anything, it doesn't always mean that you're going to bond instantaneously. Sometimes it can take a few months. So don't have them for 2 weeks and think, oh, well, no, get rid of it. Just wait a little while. Just be patient. And I was the same with some of my reborn. Some of them I had an instant wow. And others, it was a slow, plodding, oh my gosh, I can't imagine not having you in my nursery. And that was actually how it was for me. I'm not saying it's the same for everyone. Obviously, I'm not saying it's the same for everyone because we're all different, we're all humans and we all react differently. But somebody had said about, I just wanted to say, but I wondered if bonding is any different for real babies than it is for some of us ladies who get our reborns, and we have them because we want to have that extra care and love. It was almost like I had reenacted the way I'd been with my children. But that's just what I wanted to say. But I'll come back on later because I want to tell you a few other things. But I love you all, my besties, and I want you to take care.